Welcome to the Nick and Nick podcast. This podcast is powered by Royalty Roofing and Renovations. Crown your home and your commercial property with royalty. Been looking forward to having our special guest with us tonight for a long time. Really grateful that she accepted the invitation to be with us on the cast tonight. But she is were you a cosmetologist? Mm-hmm. Slash hairstylist, mm-hmm. Mother of four, mm-hmm. Business owner.
Yep.
Owner of Royalty Roofing.
All of the above.
All of the above. Tonight we have with us none other than Niki Bermel here with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Is it okay if we put you on the spot?
Yes.
Okay. So you can get comfortable. This is just for fun. We're just going to have fun with. This kind of gives our guests our audience an opportunity to get to know you a little bit without you just giving us your bio. So.
Okay.
Some of these will be more personal, but that's what the podcast is all about: getting to know you, who you are, where you've come from, what you've been through, and how you got to where you are today. So let's play on the spot.
Okay.
So let's go either or. I'm going to shoot for let's shoot for something you enjoy. I looked at your Facebook. I know you guys enjoy traveling. You usually go about once a year over spring break with the family.
Correct.
So let's go either or, cruise or all-inclusive resort in Jamaica.
I would say...
Because you've cruised to other countries, right?
We have. Yes, we have.
You've been to Jamaica all-inclusive. You've been to Mexico all-inclusive.
That's right.
Okay.
We have. We've been to both, and then we've done Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia. So that's a tough one for me. I would say right now, with the age of the kids I would say the cruise, the Royal Caribbean all-inclusive cruise is probably the best.
That's your A?
I would say
Double
family.
A?
I would say family.
Okay. How about just you and Nick?
My favorite place that him and I have ever gone to was Greece.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard about that one. Let's go next, either or, podcast or book preferred?
Podcast.
Okay. Give me some of your top 1, 2, 3.
So Lisa TerKeurst is kind of my go-to. I love Stephen Furtick.
Okay.
Motivational stuff. I listen to anything and everything if I can. Doesn't have to be spiritual. I just love listening. Like when I'm getting ready in the mornings, it's easier for me just to turn on something and listen versus sit down and read.
Yeah.
So I'm more
How many
that.
podcasts like this have you done?
None.
Let's go.
This is my first.
And this is her first podcast. Also, this furniture, this set is courtesy of you, right? Didn't you pick this out?
Yes, I gave the approval. Yes.
Okay. Who picked it out?
Well, it was kind of a collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I prefer leather. I prefer like this type of setting on film. This is my.
Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you're
I do.
At ease?
Yes.
Okay, good. What's the last book you actually read?
So I've got a couple that are going right now, but I think the last one that was actually completed was the...
Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 that are not completely read.
Hang on.
Well.
Yep, I've got like 3 going right now. I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think on that. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll give you some time and space on that one. When it comes to, you can just drop it.
We're gonna circle back.
Let's get off of that and let's go in. We're still gonna play either or as we put you on the spot. Let's go. Now I know you started out as a hairstylist. You did that for many years.
18 years.
Yeah, and this is what this podcast. This is what I really want you here for. How, and we'll get to this a little bit later, but I'm just kind of introducing it now in terms of how you pivoted from a hairstylist and became a real estate. Can I use the word mogul? I looked it up.
Sure.
Yeah, that means you're like on your game. So you pivoted from a hairstylist to a real estate mogul, and you reinvented yourself in that new market. So I want to get to that a little bit later, but along those lines, as it relates to on the spot, flip or rent, what's your preferred? Either.
Flip.
How many have you flipped?
We have flipped. Well, even our long-term rentals, we flip those first.
Hold on. Start over.
So you have to. So long-term rentals, some investors prefer that it be turnkey. They don't have to do anything to it. that's the least expensive way to get into a long-term rental is finding the deal, getting into it where there's really no work that needs to be done. You can just turn it right away, list it to rent. And our specific long-term rentals that we have, we did work to them and then we rented them out.
Okay.
So, but my favorite thing to do is flip.
So do you have rentals currently?
We do.
And so you have a little bit of both.
We
You're
do.
a little bit diversified in your approach.
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
How do you know which ones to flip and which ones to keep and to rent?
That's a great question. I get asked that a lot, depending on how much money you have to put into it right away.
So you got.
So if it needs a lot of money where you're not going to get that return on investment, turn around and sell it.
Right.
If it doesn't need a whole lot and you can do just a little bit here and there and then it's ready to go, long-term rental.
Get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. On the spot, let's go now. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I think I'm a little bit of both. I'm an introverted extrovert is
Which
what I
means?
would classify myself. When I need to be extroverted, I'm extroverted, but when I have my downtime, I like being alone. I like to
So
be
you can flip the switch.
like that. Yep.
But when you're extroverted, does it exhaust you?
It's yes.
Can it exhaust you?
It always does.
Every time?
Yeah. So because when I'm in something, I'm there.
Right.
I'm not just.
You put your whole self in like
I
the
do.
hokey pokey.
I do.
So it's either all or none. You can't
Yes.
put one foot in and one foot out.
I don't know how to do it any other way.
Yeah, I get that. I see that in you actually. And I prefer that because really you're getting your whole self.
Yes.
I mean, not just a part of, it's going to be all or none.
I don't know how to put up a front.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for me to pretend I'm a certain way when I'm really not.
Yeah.
So I'm very much an open book
Yeah.
for people that want to get to know me or our story or background or whatever it is. Because of my background, I love to share with people just to, because when I was young, I didn't have that.
Right. And we're going to get into that a little
Yeah.
bit later because I think that's kind of the backdrop of what has catapulted
Big
you
time.
to where you are today.
Big time, yeah.
We all know where you are. Our audience knows where you are today, but they don't know the poo-poo you had to step on the way to get there, or how many times you've been stung by the bee to get the honey.
Right.
But hopefully you'll be able to share that with us as we progress through the podcast. But last one on that, what do you prefer when you're talking to somebody? Do you focus or prefer to talk about your strengths or your weaknesses?
If I'm talking to someone, I want to know them.
Okay.
I don't usually talk about myself.
Okay.
Unless they ask a question,
Yeah.
I'll say something from my perspective. But a lot of times it's not me that
Right.
I'm talking about.
And it's a
I
lot
ask them questions. I want to know about them. Who am I? What type
Right.
of a individual am I dealing with? Where are they emotionally? Where are they just where are they? Because then once I get to know who I'm talking to, then I know where I need to put myself in that conversation.
Well, since I'm asking the questions, what are your strengths? Is it easier for you to talk about those or your weaknesses?
I think they tie together
Okay.
for me. Ironically, I think my strength is also my weakness.
Okay.
When it comes to, I think my biggest strength is empathy, putting myself where someone is, but then I emotionally take that on, and then it's hard to get out of that.
Oh, yeah.
So that is also a weakness for
Yeah.
me. Sometimes I get too attached to things. I get too attached to the person. I get too attached to the conversation. And then I feel that and I take that with me.
Doesn't that go alongside with putting your whole self in? I mean, where you're
Yeah.
actually feeling, hearing, touching whoever you're connecting with to the point where you're putting actually yourself in their shoes.
Yes. That is one thing that since I was little, I've noticed that. And I had to learn how to maneuver that.
Yeah.
If I tell you I'm going to be there, you don't have to ask twice.
Right.
You don't have to, like I told my husband yesterday, you don't have to turn around and look behind you to make sure I'm there.
Right.
I'm there. If I tell you I'm there.
If I tell you I'm going to be there,
Yes.
I'm going to be there.
Right. So that's probably, I think, my biggest strength and my biggest weakness is the fact that sometimes I'm all in, and then my weakness is that I'm all in. It's hard to shut that off.
That makes perfect sense.
When you are an empath or somebody that can easily relate to someone's situation, whatever it is. When you can relate,
Yeah.
then you feel what they feel, and all you want to do is fix it for them, and you can't fix it for them. They have to walk that journey by themselves. So it's difficult because that is an emotional journey. That's been an emotional journey for me my whole life.
So how do you manage that? Because that can be weighty and heavy and.
Yep. It's very heavy. I remember being told by a pastor many years ago that it will paralyze me at times. So I think I took that as like, okay, I got to be mindful of this. I can't just be nonchalant about my strengths and my weaknesses. I got to pay attention to that. If I notice that something is weighing on me and it's not really, my husband always says, you can't do anything about this.
Right.
Let it go. So for me, it's been a journey. I haven't mastered it yet.
Right.
It's something I have to constantly tell myself. And one of my strengths is like my mental toughness has always been a part of who I am, my characteristics. So mental toughness can be a good and bad thing. Again, you can reverse that too.
Yeah,
it's not always.
Your thick skin can help you in certain situations.
It's not always a good
thing.
thing.
But in other situations, your thick skin can actually repel.
Yes. So it's difficult maneuvering that. And I think along the way, throughout my entire life, even when I was a little girl, I would see things in my dreams. And we come from a different childhood. So things I didn't understand when I was little, I completely understand now. So that it's been kind of a me and God thing for many years. Like a lot of people don't understand it and they don't get it, and it's how He's designed me. So a lot of times I'll just go by myself and like, hey, you need to help me with this because I don't understand what to do. And there's not a lot of people that can relate to this. Everybody's different.
Right.
How do I do this?
Right.
So I just quietly go by myself and just ask Him to kind of help me navigate that.
Yes. And I think a healthy prayer for that would be praying for wisdom, knowing what to do when, knowing how to, and this wasn't even part of it. This was just supposed to be a quick overview, but I mean, we're kind of going deep in that. But yeah, knowing how to manage those strengths. It's actually unique that your greatest strength in your perspective is also your greatest weakness. That's good. Let's move on from either or.
Okay.
And we'll go on to true or false.
Okay.
Okay. This relates to, now you're with Berkshire Home Health, what is it?
Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate.
Yes, and you're a real estate agent there.
Correct.
Are you in a group?
No.
You're by yourself?
I am. I'm solo.
What is that called? Are you
Solo agent.
Okay.
It's just called a solo agent.
So you're Niki Bermel?
Yes.
Okay. And true or false, you're top 10% of the BHHS, what do you say,
A&B.
performers?
Top 9% the last 2 years.
Top 9, top 10?
I'm in top 9%.
Top 10 would be false. Top 9 would be true.
It's top 9%.
Which means what?
Which means I've been in the leading edge society award-winning category for the last 2 years. The year before that, I was on the honor roll. And the year before that, I was nominated for Rookie of the Year.
And that's when you started, right? I mean, you're only 3 or 4 years into this.
I'm 3 years and 5 months.
So to be the top 10% or top 9%, that means out of all the agents at Berkshire,
correct,
you're in the top 10%, which means how many agents are there?
Oh, I mean, there's 1,000 in our office.
Okay.
So close to 1,000, there's 900 and some odd.
And then there are other Berkshires
correct,
throughout the country.
Yes.
So out of all those.
So they categorize us, and according to your production is what category you get put in for your awards.
And production means the number of houses or the?
Production is your total sales.
That's a dollar amount, or is that a number of homes?
That's a volume of sales. When you're talking number of homes, you're talking units.
Okay.
And when you're talking production, you're talking total dollar amount of sales that you've sold. So like $500,000 home, $400,000 home would be a total of $900,000 in production.
Got it.
Like that's how they differentiate the awards at the end of the year. Like they look at all your production, your units, your GCI, which is gross commission income. So we're put into categories for that.
Okay.
And then throughout the year, they do quarterly top individuals. And then you're ranked quarterly. And then at the end of the year, you're put into categories as far as how much production you've done.
So your growth has accelerated.
Yes, it accelerated very fast.
Why? I mean, that's multifaceted, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's another question.
It wasn't the market, though, right? Because the market has not been.
No, and I get this question so often, so I'm glad that you asked this question. So when I started at Berkshire, I interviewed at 6 more brokerages. I chose Berkshire. It was actually at the bottom of my list. I chose Berkshire because at my interview, they said, hey, we're going to put you with Deb Cizik. And I didn't know who that was, so I had to Google her. And then I understood when I Googled her, like, oh my gosh, this is an icon in our city. Like, she's
So I'm assuming she's top 10, top 5?
She's the best of the best.
Okay.
So they said, we want you in her group. We all kind of collaborate. You know, like in this interview, they only pick and choose certain people. We think you have the drive, the motivation. We're going to put you in her mentor group. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what that was going to look like. So for 2.5 years, I sat under her. I did all the open houses, all the new construction models, meetings, and I'm talking countless meetings and hours sitting into groups and learning underneath her. But I think one reason, back to your question of why did it catapult, I think naturally I have a drive, and naturally I want to exceed, not for the world around me, but for myself. There's something within me that pushes myself. I don't need somebody to clap for me or hold my hand. Just tell me what to do. I'll learn it. I'll study it. I'll get good at it. And then I'll go do it.
Wow.
So that's kind of always been my mindset since I was little.
I wish I could do that with technology nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
As we're doing the podcast and the Facebook.
Same. I can't. This is my first one.
It's like, Lord, help me through this stuff. But true or false? What would I ask? You still cut your kids' hair?
No, just Warwick. The boys go to a barber, and I do trims, guys, but just mainly cutting the boys. It's just Warwick.
So you're out.
Out. I don't do his perms.
You got
either.
one client.
That's it.
And it's your youngest son.
That's it.
Okay. True or false? If you wouldn't have had your health challenges, would you still be in hair today?
Yes.
You really?
Yes.
That's what drove you to pivoting?
Ironic, isn't it?
No, because I've been there.
You think about the health challenges, like if it wasn't for the pain.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am.
Hold on, we talking about this pain?
We're talking physical pain, but you could use that in different areas, which I have my whole life.
Yeah.
Again, none of this shocked me looking back on it. Once I learned my lessons and I looked back, and there was a reflection of like, let me give you hindsight 2020. Let's look back and look at why that happened. Because when you're in it, you don't know.
Right.
Even a person like myself who's been through a lot of different things in life and a lot of different challenges, you would think in that I'd be like, oh, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. No, I was sad. I cried for 6 months straight.
Right.
I struggled letting go of my clients. I struggled, I had a connection with them. They were my people.
Right.
They depended on me. They relied on me, and I take that seriously.
Right.
So when the pain started, I saw a doctor for 2 years, and then he was like, the craziest thing was, I'll never forget it. The last meeting I had with the doctor, he said, you need to hang the shingle, or we need to schedule your first surgery. And
hang the shingle means what?
It means like put it up, be done with it.
Shut it up. Shut it down. Okay.
Like you need to be done. And when he didn't know that we owned a roofing company, he didn't know our background, he doesn't know anything about us. I thought that was interesting that he used that terminology with me, like hang the shingle or just let's schedule the first one, because there were multiple surgeries that needed to be done.
Right.
There was carpal tunnel issues, there was tendonitis issues, I would start my first client and everything would go numb, so I'd have to stop, shake my hands out. So the physical side of it was very tough for me, but I was willing to push through because mentally I'm tough.
Right.
Physically I was battling internal and external things in the midst of that.
Also, that was your hair/chair ministry, right? I mean, clients came to you to get their hair done. However, when they left a different person than when they came.
Yes.
You would talk about them sitting in your chair and just gushing.
Yes. It was a lot of, I think that was why it was so difficult for
Yes,
me.
because you connect with them on
divorces,
Yes.
miscarriages,
bankruptcy.
losing their homes,
Right.
losing just dealing with life struggles.
Losing a child, losing a health.
Anything and everything. When they would sit down in my chair, their cancer,
Right.
shaving my client's head at 32 years old with 2 babies and not knowing what was coming next. So when you go through life with people like that, I take that seriously.
Right.
That's not a game to me. That wasn't something that was easy for me to let go of, and they all knew it. And a lot of them knew each other.
Right.
And a lot of them, the connection was very deep for me. But when the shift happened, and I don't know if this is too early on in our meeting to go into this.
Go into it.
When the shift happened, I started having dreams about real estate. And I thought that was very odd, but also reassuring to me because I couldn't see it, but I could see it.
So before those dreams, were you having dreams about your clients' hair?
Yes. It was like I never would have imagined doing anything else, but I started to sense like the direction was shifting, not because of my choice,
Right.
but because of that was just life. That was what was happening. It wasn't like I was abandoning anyone.
No.
And at first it was a struggle for me because I felt like I was abandoning them. So I said, I'm going to do both simultaneously.
Yeah.
So when I started school in September, I did it full time, never stopped my schedule, went to school at night, took my boards in December, was licensed January, and then did it full time, and my phone kept ringing, early on. So I'm like with clients at work, my
Right.
phone's ringing. So I just thought like, I need to probably make a decision because not only was that my life, but I also had 4 kids at home.
Right.
We also have royalty. Like everybody had stuff going.
Right.
So something had to give.
And you and I, we've been conditioned to be loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
I mean, we will work ourselves into the ground
Yeah.
in order to take care of people
Yeah.
and kill ourselves, willing to sacrifice our own self, well-being,
Yes.
pain level. I mean, pain, like what you said, is the ultimate motivator. But we've been conditioned to cover up pain, bury it, take drugs to suppress it.
Yes.
However, you had to come to a point of pain where you either poop or get off the pot. You either hang a shingle, what do you say, hang a shingle, or
We scheduled it for surgery.
yeah,
I remember it word for word, and I remember being in his office and I couldn't get through the pain, and he would give me exercises and we would try different things and we kept doing it, and I would do anything to stay in that career.
right,
But the longer that it went on and the harder it was physically on me, it became more of a distress to hang on to it instead of let it go.
yeah.
So when it shifts into it's harder
to hold on to it than it is to let go of it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So when it was like I knew it was time to let go.
Yes.
And I've been through those stages in life where let go of it, and it's hard for me to let go of it because I am loyal to fault. I am, no matter what happens, I'm going to be there.
Right.
But I
You
knew
probably
that the shift-
remember the first time you had to tell somebody, no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing hair anymore.
Right. It was
Do you
tough.
remember that?
I mean, I wrote a 2-page
A thesis?
essay. Everybody got it. Everybody got the thesis. Everybody heard my heart, and I got messages, hundreds of messages from people because I didn't want them to feel like they were a number.
Right.
They were a part of my life, just like I was a part of theirs. Right. So for me, I couldn't control what was happening, but I did want them to know in this transition, you were so much a part of my life.
Right.
And I just never wanted them to forget that.
Yeah. You wanted them to realize their value.
Yes.
But this is something I have to do for me.
Yeah.
if I don't do this, I could die in this. This could be the death of me. So did you end up having the procedures or no?
No.
Did you have to have any?
I stopped. I stopped everything I was doing. I did not have to have procedures. Everything got better.
Okay.
My hands got better. My wrist got better. My right elbow got better.
Imagine that, huh?
My back got better. My hip got better.
My life got better.
Everything physically got better. It was tough emotionally and mentally for a while. But then as time went on, physically I got better. I knew my clients were well taken care of. I knew they were where they were supposed to be in this transition. So it was important for me that they were good.
Right.
And the more that they were good, I was comfortable.
Right. So Carrie and I have been admiring your, the transition that you made from afar, because I actually tried to do that myself. And I could say that it flopped. It didn't go how we had hoped it could go. And Cooper reminded me of that 2 days ago when he said, Dad, do you remember the time you had to borrow money from my piggy bank to put gas in the smoking green minivan to take me to basketball practice? Do you remember, Dad, when we had to shop at the Dollar General for groceries? So there's this time between letting go and grabbing on, this gap of time where fear, doubt, anxiety, uncertainty, whatever is filling that gap. How did you manage that gap? Because it could have cost me everything.
I know exactly what you're saying. And I know that feeling. And I go back to betting on yourself. And I go back to doing whatever it takes to get to where you need to be, whatever that looks like. So I go back to thinking about when my husband was working for another company.
Culligan?
And I had a vision.
Culligan?
So he was working after Culligan. He worked for a roofing company. He was a sales rep. And I had a vision.
We're talking 17 years ago, probably.
Yes. I had a vision in the spa room in the back of the salon. And I saw 2 R's, and I saw a crown, and I saw royalty roofing, but I saw the R and the R together, and I saw it written out. And then I saw a huge gold crown. And so I took a piece of paper, and this is back in the day. We didn't have smartphones, and I didn't have anything like that. I just had a normal phone. So this is probably off topic of what your question was, but I think I have to go back to the times where when I question where I'm going, remember where I've been.
Yes. And
what always showed up in that time. So sometimes when we can't see where we're going, we have to go back in time and have that memory of, remember when you didn't know when you were if you guys could pay the rent, because we lived in apartments.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have a house. We lived in an apartment. What if we can't make rent?
Right.
We have 2 babies. So again, I understand the piggy bank situation and what are we going to do to get to basketball practice? What are we I mean, so many years of that. This one comes to mind. Like when I didn't know what was going to happen, am I willing to take a leap of faith and risk it all? Am I willing to do that? Well, when I pushed him off a cliff and said, you're going to do this.
Right.
And then when I said that, it was Bermel Construction at first, but shortly thereafter, when we decided, or when I said, you're doing this, and he was like, Nikki, I don't know. What if I fail?
Right.
What if I can't do this? What if I can't run a business? We don't have business degrees. Neither one of us have the background of this. And what if we can't do this? And what if we can't, and I said, just go. And I remember shortly after that, having the vision, seeing it, and I wrote it on a piece of paper, and that's what my mind goes to when you're unsure of what's next.
Right.
is when you decide to make that decision, when you make the decision of I'm doing it, I feel like that's when it releases the I'm going to show you. But you have to make that step first.
Right.
Not that everybody has to, Dr. Nick. Not that everybody has to be in that position where they're like, well, I'm just going to make the decision first and not know.
Right.
I think for us, there's too many moments in time where God was like, you took one step towards me, I'm going to take two towards you, and I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, you're exercising your faith.
You have to. You have to exercise it in times of the unknown.
Right.
Because if we don't, where is our, like we talk the talk of faith.
Right.
Where is it at?
When the rubber meets the road.
Like you have to exercise something to show him like, I'm willing to do this no matter the cost and no matter what it looks like up front.
Right. So that was your support for him during his gap time.
Yeah.
How did he support you during your time between a cosmetologist to a real estate agent in that time of uncertainty? How did he reciprocate that? Because now we're getting into marriage stuff.
Yeah.
Because what we've realized, what Carrie and I realized, when I'm strong, or when she's weak, I'm strong.
Yeah.
But when I'm down and I need support and I need some affirmation, we're never down at the same time.
Isn't it crazy how when we can go back to the Bible, when it says, when you talk about equally yoked,
Yeah.
sometimes like equally yoked means something totally different to me now than what it did 20 years ago. I didn't really truly understand it.
Sure.
That is the most crucial thing that our kids can do, that we can do, is marry the right person. Because I think in those times where the rubber does meet the road, or when, stuff hits the fan,
You either got gas in the van or you don't, or you got food to eat on the table or we don't.
Like who is next to you means everything.
Right.
Where your faith is means a lot. That means a lot too. But who is next to you in those moments of despair, those moments of like, what is going to happen? Does he have the same faith level that I have? Because that was one of my number one reasons why I picked him, was his faith level. So if he can, when I went through the transition of, I have to do this, not I wanted to, it was like, I have to do something, and then the dream started.
Right.
So I brought this to my husband
until
and
you
asked.
made the decision.
No.
I have to.
No, like I don't have a choice
Right.
unless we're going to end up in surgeries. What if I'm 75 years old and I can't play with my grandkids?
Right.
I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want that for my kids. Like I had worked my whole life. Why would I give up my future of my grandkids and spending that quality time with them because I can't quit what's not good for me anymore? Why would
Say that again.
Why would I do that?
Say it again.
Why would I give up the future, like my future or my grandkids, because I can't quit what's not good for me anymore? I'm not going to do that for them. And all I kept thinking in my mind was, you're going to want to spend time with them.
Right.
Just like my mom does with our kids.
Right.
She's, 70 years old and her life is her grandkids. I want to be able to, and my kid, the first grandparent that comes to their, they think about that. They remember that. They remember that forever. I want to be that grandparent to them. And I don't even have grandkids yet, but I'm thinking, we have one life, Dr. Nick. You get one shot at this.
Right.
One shot to live a life that you love, live a life of purpose, have your kids, have your grandkids. Some people do, some people don't. Just my life. I'm speaking about just myself. But you get one shot at this, and I've done a lot. I've accomplished a lot.
Right.
And I still have more to give, but I'm also thinking about the legacy that will live on beyond me. And that's my grandkids. And I want to be able to take them places and do things with them. So if that means that my physical health was tied to my grandkids that aren't even born yet, aren't even here yet, I needed to let go of what wasn't good for me anymore.
Right.
And move on to the next phase of what could benefit what could benefit my kids. And I brought the idea to my husband and said, I've been thinking about this real estate thing. What if I got my license and we could just flip? We've got a construction company.
Right.
It's kind of
people. Yeah.
It's kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
You know people, you've established relationships. We've been doing this a long time. Everything's there, like the foundation is set. What if we do this and we start flipping? I love design. I've loved it my whole life. I love picking out things. I could spend my life in CKF. You know, like I love the aspect of creating an atmosphere and your home.
Right.
Like I just love it. So when I brought
instead
the
of
idea,
creating people's hairs and makeups and stuff,
crazy, huh?
you just pivoted, reinvented yourself
Yeah.
into creating atmospheres. And,
Yeah. So first I had to study it for a long
Right.
time. I had to actually do it, study it, understand it,
This life
build
is
the relationship.
It's a setup. God's been setting you up for
a long
from the
time.
get-go.
Yep, I think that's why the Esther scripture sits on my dresser, and I look at it every single day. That is, perhaps you were the moment. Perhaps this is the moment for which you were created. So Esther 4:14 is my favorite scripture. It's something I live by. Esther is my. And you asked, one of your questions were, you know, like, who's your biggest motivator? I think Esther is one of my biggest ones because she came from nothing.
Okay.
And she was just a good individual.
Right.
And I don't have much to give, Dr. Nick. I don't have an education. I don't have certifications. I don't have anything. I can only give you authenticity, and I can give you a work ethic
You
that
got
will
some experience and some exposure.
beat out
though.
a lot of
Right.
people.
Come on, talk about it. It can beat out a 5-year education.
I can relate to a lot of athletes for that reason because a lot of it is not talent, it's work ethic.
Right.
And my work ethic is pretty good.
Second to none. What is it? Hard work beats talent
When talent fails to work hard.
Right. Nice. So have a lot of your hair clients kept following you into real estate, and now they're your clients in real estate, or how did that go?
Some. You know, it's been a lot more people that have seen me or heard of me, or sometimes it's relatives, sometimes it's people that see me on Facebook, and sometimes it's, hey, I saw you on, I don't know, it could be from anywhere, that it just kind of started flowing.
Right.
And most of the people I do business with are people I don't know, and then they turn into my friend.
Right.
And then I check on them, and then they have life situations. It's no different than doing hair.
Right.
It just turns into something different.
Right. So now we're on the other side of the gap. Now you have to reinvent yourself in a new market, which is the real estate. You aligned yourself with Berkshire. You aligned yourself with, was Deb a mentor?
She was for 2.5 years.
Which was pivotal in your development, in your reinvention, because there's people like me that I'm 50 years old. I'm trying to reinvent myself. It's not an easy proposition at 50.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not a natural thing, because what I know, I have to let go of. I have to reinvent myself so that I can maximize the next season of my life without killing myself. What's some of the top priorities in terms of, for me personally, how would I reinvent myself for the next season of my life? What's important to do that?
So I think for me, I picked what was natural to me. Was
Okay.
people natural to me? Yeah.
Okay.
Was
Creativity, right?
Yeah, like it was already there.
Right.
All this stuff was already there. Do I love serving people? Yes. Do I love having people in my home? Yes. So I picked what I'm natural at and kind of went based off of that.
Okay.
So it didn't have to be real estate. Those were the dreams that were coming up and the conversations that kept coming to me. And so I took that to my husband and I said, what do you think about this? And he's like, it's really tough. It's a tough thing to do. And I said, I think I'm going to try it. If I fail, I fail.
Right.
You know, I was at that point, like, I know I can't stay here. I don't know
Right.
where I'm going,
Right.
but I know I can't stay here. So if I fail, then okay, then I start over again.
Right, I'll just redirect my...
Yes, like I'm good at forking the roads
Right.
because you got to pick a way.
Right.
Sometimes I'm indecisive, but but I feel like my trust is so rooted in understanding that God's going to show me regardless of where I'm at, regardless if it's in a dream, in a conversation with a person. He's going to keep kind of showing me, and he can give me little tidbits, but the rest is up to me.
Right.
The actual actions and the work and the discipline and the studying and the habits and the rest of it's me. So it's kind of like God is, with Deb, she knew that whatever she gave me, I was going to study it, get really good at it,
own it,
and
master
then
it.
I was going to multiply myself. I was going to multiply what she was giving me. Like, you can give it to me, I'll cultivate it, multiply it. That's, again, another principle. But in that season, you can't stay where you are.
Right.
You don't know what the next step is, but what are your strengths? What are you good at naturally? And I didn't know all the things, but I go back, again, when I got prophesied over when I was really, really young, the prophecy was, Esther was in the prophecy, and it was, a designer sits here. You see shapes and colors as you sleep. You see shapes and colors when you dream. You're going to find yourself traveling from here to there. You are cut from the mold of an Esther. So sometimes I go back to a basic conversation, a basic thing that was given to me. And I just, because that's like God in human form. Like, I'm telling you this, you're either going to pick it up and you're going to do something with it, or you're going to stay where you are. So I decided to go back. So when things were happening to me and I didn't know what I was going to do, I would be reminded, this was prophesied over you. This was spoke over you. This is what I showed you in a dream. Are you going to do something with this, or are you going to stay where you are and just be miserable? So it was my natural abilities, paying attention to what I was being shown from every different avenue, or from, sometimes it's people you don't expect, or things you don't expect, or conversations you don't expect, and then it just comes out of nowhere, I paid attention. I'm really good at observing. Like, so, I don't know, maybe you're in a conversation with somebody and they said something and they weren't even paying attention to what they were saying, but it hit you. It was supposed to be told to you.
Impacts you.
Yes.
So they just bumped over it, but you were like, oh.
Yeah, that hit a little different.
It hit.
I felt that a little different.
My bad. But I mean, this that we're talking about in you isn't something necessarily that we're born with. This is something you developed. And share with us how you developed this drive. I mean, your determination. I would, as I looked and I thought about this, this spirit, this drive for success that you have, no matter what you're whether you're putting your hands to somebody's hair or somebody's house. Where did this come from? Talk to us about your upbringing, the value of being raised, I think, by a single mom. Was that in Sioux City?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we were raised by a single mom, 5 kids, in a small town. It was called Anthon, Iowa, so about 45 minutes from Sioux City.
Okay.
And this, being raised in a single household, my mom worked Monday
and you
through
have
Friday.
How many siblings?
There's 4 siblings.
Okay.
I'm the middle child.
Okay.
So I have 2 older, 2 younger. And, I used to be ashamed and afraid to talk about it because, a lot of times people only value what you can show them, like what you've accomplished or where you come from or your bloodline. And I realized that my bloodline didn't matter, and I didn't have to feel ashamed of where I came from. So, I don't know how deep you want me to go with it.
So where did you come from? Tell us about it.
So
those memories, those things that shaped you, that formed you, that caused something to rise up in you, that developed your grit, your fortitude, your thick-skinned, your determination, your spirit to succeed.
Well, I think the number one drive for me was I ran as fast as I could away from how I was raised. So I knew that I never wanted to be where I was when I was young.
Which
ever
was
again.
what?
So extreme poverty.
Okay, what does that look like?
So
what
extreme poverty is barely having food.
Okay.
Barely having lights on. Everybody sleeping in one room.
Okay. 5 kids, one room, and a mom. Was the mom in the room too?
Yes. So like my mom had a water bed, and she would heat it so that way the one room could be heated. So we would sleep in the one room together often.
All 6 of you?
All 6 of us through the winter, because it was the cheapest way. My mom, because we had a propane tank to heat the house. And it was the cheapest way that my mom could keep us
Yeah.
all warm. And she did the best she could. And she did everything amazing. But it was the cheapest way to keep us all heated through the winter. So we would shut her door, turn on her water bed, and that's where we would sleep through the winter. In the summer, she would put sheets up in the living room on the doorways, so that way we had one window air conditioner, and then the window air conditioner would keep that one room cool. So you had to keep sheets up, and then we would sleep on the floor. So through my entire childhood, yes, my life now looks a little different than what my childhood did, but I have told this story quite a bit, but it stays with me. I would lay on the floor. We had one window in the living room that I used to look out of, and I used to look up at the sky. Like there was the moon out.
You can
and there
remember
were
this
stars.
vividly.
Very. I mean, I remember all of it, what it looked like, what it smelled like.
Sound.
I remember everything about it. But I used to dream about what it would look like if I chose a different path for my life.
Like the possibility.
What would it look like if I chose the right man? What would it look like if
Being raised with a single mom, no dad in the house.
they both left? They both wanted nothing to do with their kids.
What do you mean they both?
So my mom was married to my older sister's dad for 8 years. He left and then married my dad and then had 3 kids back to back. And then he didn't want anything to do with us.
They both bounced?
Yes. So what would it look like if I married the right guy? What would it look
And
like?
our kids had 2 parents.
Yes.
The same set of 2 parents their
Yes.
whole...
Yes. So what would that look like? And then also, I'm going to be successful. I just don't know what that looks like. And I don't have any strengths. I wasn't smart. I wasn't really anything. I was just kind of blah. I was embarrassed. I never had friends over. I was just super, super embarrassed I was very aware of how we lived. I was not oblivious to it. Some people are like, it is what it is. I'm fine with it.
Right.
Just one thing that was very hard for me was it was a tough upbringing. So it stirs up a lot of emotions in me because it's a huge part of why I am the way I am today.
Right. It formed you, shaped you.
It did.
Developed you into who you are today. So do you regret it, or are you thankful, grateful for your history, your upbringing, your experiences as a child? Tough question. Sorry. It may be a little bit of both.
I'm grateful for it.
However,
it was tough. It was tough, but I'm grateful for it.
Right.
I think it was necessary. And also, some people can go through that and they never come out of what that brings along. So when you're raised like that, when you go through your teenage years and your adolescence and you're trying to figure yourself out and you get to an age where you're kind of like a little bit of rebellion hits,
right.
Exposure to people that were allowed in our house that shouldn't have been. So it exposed us to so much, the anger, because I had no gatekeeper my whole life.
Right.
It was just wide open. A mom with 4 daughters and 1 son. The son was the youngest. So I think the part that was the toughest for me was there was no gatekeeper.
Right.
The only thing that really kept sanity inside of myself, it might be different for my siblings, but we went to church every Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. We were not allowed to miss church.
Grandma Connie wasn't playing, huh?
She was not playing. She still doesn't play when
Really?
it comes to did you guys go to church today?
Okay.
She doesn't play.
Okay, tell me about that.
So it was, she wanted us just to be in a place of, her stance was, we don't have anything, but we have God.
And that's enough.
That was it. That was it for us. So that is what we had, and Mom never let us miss. We were never allowed to miss church, and that was my entire childhood. So we had nothing else, but she did take us to church.
Do you think church played a role in creating this feeling or acknowledgement in you that the way that things are right now is not okay with me? Being exposed to your faith, the word, helped you develop and acknowledge it, number one, and act upon it. Like what you're saying, some people are in that and they just stay in it. Other people like yourself are in it. It's like, this isn't who I am. I'm not going to stay in this. They acknowledge it, they identify it, call it for what it is, and then find a way to scratch, claw, fight their way out of it and to a totally different outcome.
Yeah. I think with church, the one thing that it gave us that I didn't know it was giving us at the time was, I feel like there were seeds planted every time we walked into that building in some way. I'm not saying there wasn't anything bad that came with that. And I'm not saying there wasn't situations that weren't tough. What I'm saying is I learned not to focus on the bad that happened. Just focus on what are you taking away from this? Because if you only focus on the bad, if I only thought about the bad in my childhood, I would be homeless on the street. I would be living alone. I would be straight up just addict of every kind. Because you got to learn. I had to learn that if I can learn to control my thoughts, I can control what I do in my day-to-day. And if I can control that, that's going to lead me on a path of some form of success. I didn't know what that was going to look like.
Well, I can play a role in my success. Life just doesn't happen to me.
No.
I'm an active participant in what level of life that I have.
Well, just like when you're prophesied over, that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
No.
That means it's speaking to the potential in you. Could it happen? Yes. But you can't just sit around and wait and just open up your hands and be like, okay, I'm just going to wait for the world to give me, or God to just drop something in my lap. You have to move. You cannot just sit there. So for me, and this is me talking to myself, Dr. Nick, honestly, because it was like, Nikki, if you just sit here, nothing's going to happen to you. You are a stereotype. You are a statistic. Do you want to be a statistic, or do you want to do something with your life? You make the choice. I can't, nobody was going to force me to do anything. I was easily on a path where the ship was going to either sink or it was going to flourish. So I had to figure some stuff out along the way. And I knew I couldn't just sit and wait for something to happen. You know, and our mom taught us, if you want something, you work for it. Period. Point blank. You do not wait for someone to give it to you. We had government cheese. We had no food in the house. We had no electricity on. We had a landlord dropping off groceries at our front door in a paper bag because my mom couldn't pay the electricity that month. And they were like, Connie, are you struggling? And would drop food off at our house and, pay my mom's electricity bill. When things like that happen to you and you see that happen to others, the chain of, I'm going to get somewhere someday so that I can do the same thing for someone else and have those babies in that house see that there are people out there that want them to live a successful life. And it may not be successful right now. And it may not be what you want right now, but if you just keep going and don't quit, something is on the other side of that heartache and that pain and that journey and that struggle, whatever it is, there is good on the other side of that. And I want to be that person to kids that don't have that in their life. And not that I go out every day to try to aim for that, but I love when kids say that stuff to Nick and I. I don't have this, Nikki. I've never seen this before. The fact that you do this for us all the time, or have given this, or done this, or bought whatever it is. I don't even care what it is.
Right.
So for me, it meant more to me that single moms have I have a soft spot in my heart for them because of, I understand the struggle.
Right.
I've seen it from that angle.
So along those lines, what about your upbringing, that what we were just talking about, what you've learned or what you've been through, are you intentionally instilling in your children? Or do our kids, have to go through a measure of that themselves? Can it be passed on? Do we, as parents, do we intentionally instill, or do they have to experience it in some measure? Hopefully not the same measure we have.
My kids tell me often, Mom, we're not you. We didn't grow up like you. We weren't raised like you. We're not you. So sometimes it's hard for me because I get stuck there.
Right. What are they saying what are they saying when they say that?
Different things where my mind will struggle with my house, and they're like, Mom, it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
We're not sleeping on the floor.
Right. We're not sleeping on the waterbed.
We're not sleeping on, all 6 of us are not in
We
one
have
room.
food.
It's, Mom, we are fine. Like, what if we run out of something? What if the kids need something? What if, and they constantly remind me, Mom, it's okay. So sometimes it subconsciously just goes back and they have to just say, it's okay.
Your kids are instilling something in us. Our kids are instilling something in us.
It's okay. But their journeys are their journeys. And there is nothing, it's hard for me to let go a little bit because you don't want things to happen to them, and you don't want things to come their way, or heartache or bad decisions or wrong decisions, and you just want to like be ahead of them to stop it.
Right.
But their journey is their journey.
And some things they just have to experience it themselves.
They do. And it's, like people wouldn't have looked at me when I was a little girl and thought, this is where she's going. Just like, sometimes people aren't going to look at our kids and be like, this is where they're going.
Right.
I don't know where they're going.
Right.
I don't know where their heart's going to lead them, or where their passion's going to lead them, I don't know yet.
Right.
We're still kind of figuring that out. They're at different ages and they've been through different things. But if there's one thing I can instill in them, it's to never quit.
This one thing I know.
Just don't quit.
Don't quit.
I don't care what it is. You're struggling with something, don't quit. You're dealing with something, don't quit. You're dealing with this over here, don't quit. Whatever it is.
That's why whenever I hear somebody committed suicide or took their own life, it's like, that just hits me. It's like,
it's tough.
If somebody could have,
just one more minute, one more phone call, one more conversation.
One more.
Who could I have done this? Could I have done that? Just one phone call had I known.
Right.
That is a tough one. That's a tough one. And I think with anybody in general, I wish that sometimes I could take out of me and instill in somebody else, but that's not possible.
Right.
They're going to have to walk that journey themselves. And I can say till I'm blue in the face.
Right.
I could teach or talk or conversations.
Right.
When I was young, I wanted to be a therapist, and that just wasn't in the cards for me.
Or it was when you were in your chair therapy or your chair ministry.
Yeah, therapy is what we used to call it.
Therapy, that's a good one. So now in this, what's your primary motivator? I think I understand it now since we've been talking, but I mean, you've mentioned kids, you've mentioned legacy, you've mentioned I want to be there for my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. Would you say that's your primary motivator?
For my number one is I want to make sure I fulfill what I was born to do.
You know that?
I want to make sure I do.
Do you know what that is in some form or measure of clarity?
I feel like I'm doing it.
Oh, so then yes.
I feel like I'm doing it. And if there's something I'm missing, I feel like I'm going to be shown what that is I'm
along
missing.
the way, as long as you're moving in that direction.
Because I think I feel like as long as I fulfill what I was supposed to do, Also, I do want my grandkids to say, you know, like, this is who broke this generational curse. Breaking generational curses is a big thing for me. It's a weight that I've carried. It's a motivator that I've had. My daughter, you know, when you have a daughter, you have a granddaughter. When I was her age, traumatizing things happened. So to know, like, this girl is strong, she's confident, she's protected, she has a gatekeeper, she has all the things. You didn't, Nikki. And she's so far advanced from where you were at her age.
Right.
So just think about where she's going. And I, you know, for me, my motivator is a few different things. My past is a motivator.
Okay.
As long as I fulfill what I'm supposed to fulfill, like what I was born to do.
Your purpose, your assignment,
yes.
you're that.
And it's not just one thing.
No.
Like, some people are like, it's just one thing, or you're supposed to do this, and then everybody's writing books, and everybody's doing this, and
You wish
everybody's
it was
opening
one
this.
thing.
I'm like, listen,
It ain't that simple.
listen.
Look.
Everyone's like, Nikki, you need to write a book. No, I'm not writing a book. Absolutely not. I'm not writing a book. But it's more, I just feel like motivators are different things. For me, it's not one thing. It is, what can I do? How far can I push myself if I don't quit? And here's a stereotype. I'm like a walking, talking, supposed to be, you know, not anything. What if I kept going? How far could I push myself?
What if?
And it's not even everybody applauding me.
Has nothing to do with
I don't
the
care
audience,
about
the
people.
crowd.
I could
0 rips, we call that. I give 0 rips.
0. I just want to know, how far can I go? And that motivates me enough. So I think about my kids, I think about my grandkids, I think about my childhood. It's a combination of what I've been through, what I've gone through, where I'm going, who I've got watching. There's people watching that I didn't even know were watching. What can my husband do if I'm a pillar and a guard, you know, like putting that hedge of protection around him every day? How far can he go?
Right.
So it's not just you, it's your kids, it's your grandkids, it's your spouse. And they say that it's good for your brain to keep doing new things, to keep trying new things, keep expanding yourself, doing something different. They say that. I don't know if it's true. I'm just saying.
We'll find out as we age.
I guess.
Yep.
But I just, you know,
Maybe that's the question that's at the heart of your spirit of success. The question is, how far can I go? How high can I jump? What all can I do?
I think that's why I relate so much to athletes. I love listening to athletes that are just, they've got a good head on their shoulders, and they've been breaking barriers throughout their entire career. Their life was their sport, or and they transition and they turn into businessmen and businesswomen, and because they're not just an athlete, there's so much more to them. And then they say, like, you can push yourself further. You don't even know how far you can go. Are you willing to push yourself out of your comfort zone? And I remember for years, in 2020, I think it was the first time I heard it, when I was driving, just driving by myself, I think it was December of 2020, I heard, get comfortable being uncomfortable. When I was driving, music was off.
Yeah,
it just
went over your radar, right?
And I'm like, what does that even mean? And then I understood. We hit challenges in 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, and I didn't understand it. But looking back, I never know what it means when I'm in the moment, but it's always after the fact. It's always hindsight. It's always hindsight for me. I'm like, oh, that's what he was trying to say.
Right.
I didn't know.
So just a couple more, then I'll let you go. Give me your definition of success at this phase in the game, at this phase in your life. When you look at success through your lens, What does it look like? Those things that we just talked about?
Success for me is pushing myself beyond my own limits. Like, well, this is your limit, Nikki.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to push beyond that.
As long as I'm out there, I'm successful.
I'm going to hit that glass ceiling
Okay.
pretty hard. So for a lot of times it's internal, Dr. Nick.
Yeah,
It's not like, okay, somebody's giving me a goal and I need to hit that goal.
It's not a numbers thing.
No.
Has nothing to do with the numbers.
No, for me it doesn't. It's, did I push myself further this year than I did last year?
Right.
Okay, well, now we're going to keep going. We're going to see, like, I don't know what that looks like. It could be numbers. It could be something I learned. It could be something I mastered. It could be something different. A struggle that I went through and I handled it different this time than I did last time.
Right.
I was tougher this time. I handled it different. But I also, success for me, I never knew what success was when I was young, but I just knew that I want to impact people and to let them know, especially kids that grew up like I did, because there's a lot of them, people that come from that type of childhood, that you do not have to be, you are not a stereotype.
Right.
You don't have to be one of those numbers. So I love when people have that conversation with me, when they struggle with that, of where they come from.
Right.
And their bloodline. You don't have to attach yourself to your bloodline. You don't have to be like, well, this is the only, this is kind of how far everybody else went. This is kind of how far I'm going to go. So that's a tough question for me. But for me, I keep going without paying attention to what I've done. I just keep going.
Right.
So I don't know if that's a good enough definition or not. I need to probably nail down a definition. But for me, I keep morphing myself and I keep pushing myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's an end goal for me.
It's
I don't
like
know if there's an end game.
The mile or the marathon, right? I mean, they keep just pushing as fast as they're doing the marathon. It just keeps getting faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yes. It's like you almost don't even know if there is an end game or what that end game looks like. I don't know.
Right. And I think I was going to ask you how you measure that success. I don't know that you do, but one thing that came to mind as you was talking about defining it was impact. That's how you measure it, is impact. How are we impacting people's lives? That's how we measure it.
And I measure it internally.
Which means
how,
what?
Like, I measure it based off of, did that bother you this time? No? Good. Keep going.
Okay.
Like, different things that would bother me before, they don't bother me anymore. Paying attention to what other people think about me, or paying attention to, well, you're supposed to be like this, you're not like this. And it took a long time for me to get out of that, like, look like this, act like this, talk like this, do this, into just be who you are.
Right.
You don't have to be something for someone else,
Right.
or try to live a perfect lifestyle
Right.
to be godly or to live a life of faith.
Right.
You don't have to live a perfect lifestyle. You just got to be you, authentic. And if you're not authentic, what are we even doing anymore? So, yeah, the measuring of success is tough for me because I look at this.
Right.
I look at myself.
Right.
Because a lot of.
How about our kids? How about our fruit? I mean, how does that impact success? I mean, how do we measure that with our kids? I mean,
I think that they've watched us, heard us, learned from us.
the good and the bad.
Lived under the same roof, breathed the same air in their household. And they know that their parents are strong people, and they know that, I focus more on life and common sense and just picking up on what's important and what's going to take you to where you need to be and what your goals are and your vision is, because theirs might not be ours.
Probably not.
It's probably not.
Right.
So for me, it's like you can watch this and learn from it. And when they're ready, they come ask questions. And it's been at different times and it's been different situations. And obviously they grew up different than us. But I think with our kids, you can't tie your success to what your kids are doing, because they are our kids, but I don't expect them to be perfect.
Right.
I don't expect them to be like, well, I have to be perfect because mom and dad live like this, or mom and dad do this. And what if I'm not as successful at first?
Right.
The fact that I hear my kids say things like, I'd love to start a business that has to do with personal training. I think I could do that with my eyes closed. I think I'm just naturally good at this. I think I'm naturally good at this. You know, I don't push them in that direction. I help them. Let's talk through that.
Navigate it, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're watching, they're listening, they're paying
They
attention
are.
to how we
They are.
function, how we...
But they also know that I'm very protective over what we've built.
Right.
So that's one conversation I can tell you that we have protected. Who they choose is their biggest life
Are you talking about
choice.
their significant?
Their significant
got
other. Whoever they choose as their significant other is a big decision.
Good luck.
It's something that is a huge topic in our house.
I get it. Coming from somebody that grew up without a gatekeeper is the word you would use. Mama bear don't play. I got one more question for you. What do you work on daily to become a better version or the best version of yourself? Something you work on daily to become a better version of yourself. Say affirmation, self-talk.
I do self-talk, not every day. I listen to speakers, not every day, enough that it's instilled in me. I watch church a lot online. I talk to myself.
Do you affirm yourself?
I get really good at telling you can do this, Nikki.
Affirmation.
I know it's tough right now, but you can do this. And I will out loud tell myself.
Yeah, that's embedded in
this.
your hard drive.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a big part of who I am.
What would that sound like? What does that sound like? Let us in your affirmation.
I don't care how you're feeling right now. You're going to get through this. It's going to be better once this is over. He's going to get better. She's going to get better. The situation's going to get, like, it's a situational thing for me.
Right.
That day could be different. I could be struggling with something that day that I didn't struggle with yesterday.
Right.
So it depends on the day.
Right.
Sometimes people really drain me and I get real low because I'm like so beyond frustrated.
I get it.
And so I will tell myself, this is not forever.
It's a season.
You're going to get over this.
Right.
This is not forever. It's going to be fine. But a lot of times I find myself saying, you can do this. You will do this.
Right.
Not can, but will.
I can and I will.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast. I appreciate your time. That was fun.